All right, beautiful. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Look at this. We got 4 bastards on a new screen. It's not what you usually hear when I introduce a show. We got Roundball presented by Barstool Sports. We got Jeffrey Nadu. We got Jordan Bohannon and Michigan's Hunter Dickinson, the 4 hosts of the show. Every show this year for college basketball, everything you need to know. Probably don't ask me, but the other people on the show here know a bunch of shit, and that's why I have them here. How we doing, boys?
Great.
Yo,
I'm
yo,
excited.
yo.
Let's go.
I'm looking at people's backgrounds. Nadu has had these 2 pictures behind him for years now and nothing else. Bohannon's got a fucking clean-ass place, and Hunter looks like he's in his childhood home.
Definitely. Is that your childhood home? I was gonna ask.
No, I'm in Michigan, dude.
Wow.
I'm from
I gotta
DC.
admit, that's pretty nice cabinetry. I didn't think that was like a college kid's house.
Oh
Good
yeah,
stuff.
man. Hey,
The
do it big in
NIL
Michigan.
money.
Yeah, NIL.
Yeah,
I mean, this
that's
guy,
true.
this guy's raking it in right. He's probably
He's in a
making more than
mansion.
all of us combined.
How much you
Um,
making, Hunter, in NIL money?
I think that's
Pre-tax.
classified. Yeah,
Okay.
pre-tax.
I can tell you it's more than me and you, Nadu, combined.
Yeah. No, I was guessing it was 6 figures, surely.
After this podcast, it's going to be 6 figures because if you don't mention Roundball in every interview you do, if you're not on the foul line saying come on the podcast, I'm going to kick your ass. You know that.
I'm gonna get a round ball tattoo like on the back of my neck.
Just put it on your chest and just that's it. All right, this episode, we just wanted to get on here, introduce everybody, explain how we got here, explain everything what we want going forward. I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a big difference in not harping on every fucking game, not going deep diving into everything. Because honestly, I'm going to be honest, I don't give a shit. I like college basketball, but I like talking about the stories. I want to get basically into a lot of like who's got the best student sections, all the crazy shit. But obviously, we'd be talking college basketball. And that's why I have the 3 of them here, because we have 2 former players and the guru of fucking betting who knows. Supposedly, before we started talking, he's talking to us about how he's got the back channels of everything. Right, Hunter?
Yeah.
Back channels are important. You gotta know people.
Yeah,
Jeff
you know
D-
fucking one bartender from each place, and he's telling you everything, isn't he?
Yeah, I gave you some good info on Alabama, football. So yeah.
He's DMing their girls, Marty.
Yeah,
Not gonna
people are
say
gonna
no.
be like, "Oh, now we got 2 people who steal your girls on the show."
If I had an in, I would do that. That 7,000%.
And let's not forget, we have a professional basketball player on here as well, and Bohannon just fucking
Semi.
That's professional. You get paid to play basketball. That is.
You know how people are. They're like, oh, he's not in the league. He's not professional. So we're just gonna keep at that tier right now before we start.
Before
saying
you get a 10-day contract.
Yeah, then we can say it when I get that 10-day.
But aren't you like one of the top shooters ever in the Big Ten?
I am the top shooter.
Not a lot of people can say that.
Yeah. Tell him, Jeff.
Well, I could have been the top shooter of the Big Ten. It's dog shit. But
how many threes do you think you could have made in your career if you had a 4-year career? You started every single game.
Every single game?
Yeah.
None.
Do I actually have to play like with the team and pass and shit, or can I just shoot?
You're playing in like Michigan system. How many threes you make in a 40-minute game? You play 32 minutes,
Yeah.
let's say.
32 minutes. How many threes did you make?
Like 440, I think.
All right, I'll be realistic. Like 84.
Shut up.
You're not making 84.
You're not making any.
Bro, yes, I am. I'm
Marty,
athletic. I'm probably the most
10
athletic person
shots.
on the show.
If we gave you 10 shots in a college game, you would make. I think you might make 1.
Yeah, I think you're kind of discounting how good, like even against like Southern, like some of the worst teams in the country, they're still significantly better than you.
Yeah, but boys, I'm the last option on the team. So like they're not covering me. Like I don't have the best defender on me. Like they're all gonna be open. They're gonna get me open.
But you're not getting a shot off. That's the thing.
What are you talking about, bro? I can shoot from anywhere on the court.
You might be able to, but you're not gonna be able to like put the ball on the floor. It's gonna get taken before you even.
Marty,
It has to be catch and shoot.
I can
Please.
guarantee this. Let me guarantee this. If we go to a basketball court, I have one move that no one can stop, and I will get past anyone. After you see the first time, I might not be able to use it again, but this one move, I will smoke one of them. And you guys might actually never play basketball again because I smoked.
Did you play high school basketball?
I played JV. I was all Long Island volleyball.
JV. Wasn't good enough to get to varsity, but he could
No,
make
I just
84
didn't, I
threes.
didn't care. I didn't care about basketball. I was a volleyball player. You know, I was fucking sick. And baseball. I was a baseball player. I played real sports.
You play volleyball?
Bro, I was sick.
You were the spiker or something?
Yeah, I was middle. I talked so much shit. Before the games, dude, is actually the most disgusting thing in the world. You have to like go and slap everyone's hand before the game because there would be fights after and shit. Volleyball got crazy. But we would just wipe up ball sweat and slap everyone's hand on the other fucking team.
Here's what you got to do, Hunter, because you're the one that can do this. Get this guy to a practice. Do like a 5-on. He wouldn't even get a shot off. I agree. I don't think he would even.
Bro, you guys are crazy. Like, I realistically 4 years. Like, I'm shooting a lot. I'm probably gonna be 84 for like 700. But like, I'm getting shots up.
You know how hard it is to get a shot up in college?
And then you got to make it. You're saying you can make 84.
That's what I'm saying. You got to make like shooting in a game is totally different than like just open gym.
You guys, man,
in front of all those people.
Yeah, you got 15,000 fans too. They're talking shit.
You can make maybe
under that. I don't know how we're ever going to make this happen, but if I can get in the practice once, I will show you.
Hunter is
I'm
telling
sure
me,
I could get in an Iowa or Michigan practice in like the very early off season.
Hunter was saying, Marty, that they play an exhibition, okay, which means nothing, against Ferris State. If Ferris State is non-Division I, I don't think you could make a shot against that team.
Bro, I would rip up Ferris State. You kidding? I've seen a D3 basketball.
You'd be 6 for 10 from 3 in that game, I'm sure.
Where the fuck is Ferris State at?
I think it's North Dakota.
North Dakota?
Minnesota or something like maybe up there.
Is with Ferris State.
Listen, either way, Marty, if not that you're not hateable enough already, but I think a lot of people hate you after what you just said.
I think more people might hate you.
True.
Honestly, you know what?
Yeah.
To be honest, a lot of people hate Jordan and a lot of people hate Hunter, and it's awesome. Yeah. Like we have two guys but the reason why people hate is because you know what? They want something out of it. They want to be doing what we're doing. So fuck you all, and I hope you all hate listen. But
let's figure this out though. We got to do this at some point. You got to. I mean, I don't think you get a shot up, but
we'll do it. We'll do it.
Two legends in the Big Ten are telling you that too, but for whatever reason, you can make 84.
Again, when's the last time someone won the national championship in the Big Ten?
One got there, Wisconsin, several years ago.
I mean,
it's been a while though. Michigan.
We're going to talk about why later, Marty.
All right. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But all right. Before we get into some college basketball for everything, I want to explain bench mob. I want your guys' reactions. I want kind of how it went down too. When you guys kind of saw, well, I got a girlfriend and people got very upset. We'll get past that. But like when bench mob kind of was going through it, like were you guys like, what the fuck's going on? Or like when I called you guys, were you like, what the fuck?
Well, I'll admit, I remember when you asked me about this, I was blown away when you asked me about it. That was a while ago. That was probably May or June, I think. It was Idle, I think. It was that week. I could obviously sense there's maybe some issues. Obviously there's several different personalities and everyone's got to get used to it. But, yeah, I was pretty surprised. And then you told me these guys may be involved, and I was all in. Now, at that time, I didn't work at Barstool, so, I didn't really know how to proceed with it. But, yeah, I think, I think this is a good team. I think it's a better group, and I think it'll be more successful. But, yeah, I was surprised, pretty surprised.
What about you guys?
Yeah, I'd say, I was definitely trying to get on a podcast. And so, obviously, that I hit you up trying to get on one. I feel like, I got a lot of things to say. And once you said that, you were kind of breaking away, I was surprised, like Nadu. And, once you said Jordan was coming on, I thought this would be a slam dunk podcast for sure.
And you, J-Bo?
I mean, I was fucking waiting on the call. I don't know what I thought. You guys had me on like 15 times last year. I was like, are we in or not? Like, what are we doing? Am I adding as the fifth guy? Like, come on, let's do this. But I was ready. I mean, I think me and Hunter, we have so much basketball intellect that you guys kind of, not to hate on bench mob, but you guys didn't really have that last year.
Yeah.
So I think we can provide a lot of insights on, games. And Hunter's, I mean, the dude's going to be playing. He's one of the best big men in the league this year and in the country. I mean, what other podcast has that? That's college basketball podcast. No
exactly. One. That's what we were missing, where it's like, I'm the crazy fan that watches Duke and like the big games. Obviously, I know what I watch. I'm not going to be researching the fucking A10 and shit like fucking Nadu up there, because I don't care about mid-majors. We're going to have a producer this show of Dukes at some point, and he's going to have a mid-major minute because he loves the mid-majors. But basically, to break down everything that happened, because everyone's like, oh, Rico, like you fucked over Rico. I did nothing. We had a meeting. Me, Jake, and Rico had a meeting and just kind of talked like what we can get through to kind of work together, make bench mob happen again. We did it. I won't say what happened in it. I thought it went pretty well. Then Jake kind of said, like, I don't want to really work with you anymore. Like, I kind of just want to do my own thing. I said, all right. And that minute, I called Jordan and I called Hunter and I was like, boys, are we in or out? Are we doing this? And you both were like, I'm fucking in. I don't give a shit. And honestly, I'm going to be honest. I asked Rico to be a part of it, but he was like, I kind of want to stay on bench mob, like maybe like with the sponsor and everything. And then that's really when I was like, all right, Nadu knows a lot. He's the next guy I know that knows a lot about college basketball. We're having him in. And that's how we're here. I'm done with the drama shit. I'm done with it. If Rico wants to call in, I'd love for that. And I'd also love to still have him on, because I'd love for you, Nadu, and him to fucking go at it with college basketball.
Listen, I agree. I 100% agree. I would be totally cool with it. I was trying to be the stat guy last year. The truth of the matter is, and this is fucking marked, dotted, and fucking crossed, there's nobody on this planet that can bet college basketball like I can. Nobody. I'll put my head up against anybody. Anybody. So this is all a great mix. You got two players who were in, like, no, that's something I'll never have, right? I've never played. I'll never play. If you've seen me play.
We've also seen you play.
Yeah.
People would look away.
Yeah. It ain't good. It's a mess. But we all offer something here. That's the thing. Marty, as Marty said, is a fan. He has a good time. Some of those things you did way back in the day with that bird you have. You still have that bird?
He's retired in Florida.
What's that bird's name?
Rudy. He's actually Rudy. Everyone here will be dead before that bird.
Okay. Yeah. Like
that thing lives for 85 years, bro.
Some of the shit you did with that bird was really funny. Like, your reactions are funny. These guys play and I gamble. It's a great mix and everyone can be involved. I would love to have other people involved. This is an open forum.
Yeah, we're going to have guests. We're going to have big time guests because these guys know everybody. I know I have relationships. Nadu has it. So we're going to get guests. And I want this podcast to be more involved with the fans. Like Hunter and J-Bo, like, how are your guys' student sections at your schools?
Michigan.
What was the head of this?
I was student section. You got to step it the fuck up. I mean, that's just you. I would say your stadium is a weird shape.
We got like the pit. Like I think it's New Mexico State. They got that pit. Like our stadium comes in. Our students are way on the left side. And
yes,
we can't hear them.
It's loud, but it's not as crazy.
We'll blame the AD, not the students.
All right, and Hunter.
Yeah, I think the same thing. Like, I think the fan, like our student section, the people are good. There's just not enough of them. And I think, like Jordan, like we have them behind the bench, and then like there's one section, but a lot of them are up like in the nosebleeds. So I just feel like the structure of the stadium and like the seating arrangement isn't, I guess, as good as other arenas for sure.
Let me ask you, Jordan and Hunter, I'm curious. What would you say is the best student section you played against in the Big Ten and the worst? Like, I'm always curious about that because I don't think the Big Ten, I think there are a couple, like Purdue's great, Illinois' got a decent one. It's a good conducive atmosphere, but what's the worst? What's the best?
Well, I would say probably Purdue, but Illinois this past year we played at Illinois. We had like fans like I tossed a kid's phone, like they rushed the court, they won the Big Ten title, and they're like in our face, like talking shit after the game. And there's this player in my face with the camera, and I hit his phone like probably 150 feet into the stands. So like they're like fucking insane too now. I'd probably say Illinois and Purdue.
Yeah, Purdue's definitely up there. I remember playing Purdue last year, and like when we were warming up, I thought we were in like a movie or something. Like they had like these lights coming, like they were all like synchronized in the claps. I thought we were in like the Hoosiers or something like that. But Purdue's crazy. Indiana is pretty crazy. But I think Michigan State, for me, just because of the rivalry and that extra hate that they have for us, I feel like they have like this bowl, and the whole lower bowl is straight students. So it's like it feels like there's only students at the game.
Penn State's got to be the worst, right?
Yeah, Penn State's the worst.
I don't think Penn State knows they have a basketball team.
They have this big ass arena. It's like 40,000 people, and they
ain't filling that shit up. No,
it's a huge arena. It is a huge arena.
Illinois though, I'll get back to bench in a second, but Illinois, Hunter, they don't like you. They hate you, actually. And Illinois fans hate me because they're just the biggest frauds of all time. But like you and Kofi pretty much went at it all the time. I saw memes of both of you being each other's baby in memes at all times. Is that
that's the funniest meme ever?
Yeah,
those are kind of funny. I do like well, I mean, obviously, like after you see enough of them, the new ones will give me a little laugh sometimes.
Yeah, once you see it a lot, you're like, all right, I get it. But the Big Ten, a lot of obviously big, like, bro, Zach Edey is like, I don't think refs even know how to fucking call anything against him because he's just a fucking block. Like that guy is so fucking big. But who's been the most like mean fan base to you? Not mean, but like coming after you, just like it, which almost is funny.
Man, yeah, I'd probably say like, I'd say Texas Tech for sure.
Really?
Texas Tech. They're still DMing me to this day about what I said over the summer. No, the Texas Tech fans are crazy. I mean, Illinois, like I've said. I mean, my thing I said about Texas Tech was pretty controversial too. So, but
what did you say? I don't think I remember.
I called their coach a fraud. Because
Mark Adams, really?
Yes. Because
why did you say that?
He basically wasn't trying to let Terrence Shannon graduate from Texas Tech because at Michigan we have stupid. I mean, it's not stupid, but we're prestigious. we're prestigious over here, Jordan. We're prestigious academic school. So you need a certain amount of credits in order for a person to be able to graduate from Michigan at Michigan. You need like 70% of credits. And so he was never going to be able to get that. So he would have had to graduate from Texas Tech in order to be able to come here and be a graduate transfer. Mark Adams wasn't trying to let him graduate and then leave. He was trying to say like he wanted him to stay. So he was like, no, like I'm not going to allow you to take these classes over the summer. Dang. Fortunately for Illinois, they have the same. Illinois has the same academic standards as us. You need like 70%, but their AD got their admissions to be able to sign a waiver to kind of bypass the 70% rule. So they obviously don't care about academics as much over there.
If this gets, I'm getting hard over here, Hunter. You are fucking. This is what we're talking about. Fuck them. Fuck Illinois. Fuck Mark. Fuck them all. Because
yeah, for sure.
I do love though that you are, because everyone's gonna be asking is like, is Hunter gonna be on the show all the time? Yes, he's gonna be on the show every show unless he really can't. It's more about because you're very vocal. Both of you have always been vocal in college basketball. Jordan didn't shut the fuck up, and the NCAA hated him. But I love that. That's why
they couldn't wait for him to get out of there.
Hey, I got him. I got Hunter all his money, so
you did.
Paid off.
Yes, UGO and Zay. Yep.
Any NIL deal, Jordan Bohannon basically started him with Geo Baker, right?
The NIL, the stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it was in the works for a while. Like there's been court cases.
Yeah.
You're kind of like a trailblazer.
You're like us three. Yeah, us three are like the first like athletes that push
to
the needle.
speak up about it. Really,
Well, we're the first athletes I think that met with the NCAA president. Like I met with him twice for an hour.
Crazy.
I wish you guys could hear the audio of that shit.
Why?
Just because I came at him.
Yeah, you don't hold back much,
I don't.
do you?
I'm like you and Jeff. I don't hold back. I don't give a fuck.
No,
well,
I don't
again, like the thing is, he wasn't wrong. I mean, the NCAA is a mafia-like organization. They just are. It's that simple.
And
I will say this: I say a lot of shit, but whenever I speak out and like am avid about speaking out, I want to be knowledgeable. So, like, I'm not gonna speak out about shit I don't know about.
I will say I will not be knowledgeable in shit I talk about. I will talk some shit and have nothing to back it up. But
that's why you're the host of this show.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys, we're gonna fight. I can't wait for it. You're gonna be saying shit, and people are gonna be picking it up. And I know you're ready for that. Who gives a fuck? Like, you're gonna play the game no matter what. Like, I remember you talked a lot of shit about Maryland, right? Because you were like, because they didn't recruit you or some shit from when you're there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Maryland didn't recruit me basically coming out of high school. They tried to say that they offered me a scholarship, and that was them recruiting me. Jordan. So if a school offered you a scholarship and then never came to any open gyms, or you didn't have the head coach's number, is that really considered them recruiting you?
No, I didn't really get recruited, but I don't know.
Wow.
I had a scholarship pulled for me, so I kind of feel I know what you're kind of feeling. But
it doesn't surprise me though, because Mark Turgeon is one of the worst coaches in the history of college basketball, so it doesn't surprise me at all. The thing I want to make a comment about is it's 22 minutes into this show, and Marty Mush has not mentioned bucking Duke. So I had the over on. I had the under on that.
I'm trying to be better. I'm not going to be. I'm going to mention them a lot. So first episode, I'm trying to.
No Duke or Yankees somehow. He moses the Yankees into this somehow.
I'm trying to the listeners to keep this show on, but I am excited about it because like there is not another college basketball podcast that you have Tyson Tate, which to be honest, I would have them on here. I would do a crossover. I think that was a big problem with our friend Rico before, but like I who gives a fuck? Let's get in everyone's space. But there's no other college basketball that has a present, basically the most notable name in college basketball right now on their podcast. What?
He's an All-American.
I was talking about Jordan.
I'm coming back.
Professional, right?
I'm coming back. Yeah, and people are gonna make the old jokes about Jordan still fucking playing. He's not. All right, he's in the G League. So go.
Tell me this real quick before you keep going. Is it weird that I had like reporters that were like 55 years old tell me I was old in college? Isn't that like kind of backwards in my opinion?
Yeah, it is backwards because a lot of like old ass fucks are doing this shit, and like most of the guys they're talking about are 18 years old. It's like. It's a little weird.
I mean, you weren't like super like I think of other like Aaron Kraft was at Ohio State for literally 10 years.
I mean, what's his name? The Kansas guy, what, Perry?
Yeah, Perry Ellis. Yeah.
Perry Ellis.
I mean, he was bald. He had Marty's hairline.
Yeah, he had my hairline.
Hey, Jordan, let me ask you. Obviously, Marshall Henderson's probably the most hated player ever. Like he didn't give a fuck like at all.
Yeah.
But
I would have to say you weren't far off. Like a lot of people hate you.
I have Marshall Henderson's number.
Got to get him on here. He's my favorite.
I went out with him at Ole Miss. Oh my God,
he's a psycho.
The same person.
Get him on, please.
He looks straight through your eyeballs, like he's looking through in your soul. It's like I'm like, bro, we're just drinking. He goes, what are you talking about? His eyes are like this the entire night, bro. It's
Marty. As you know, I researched the mafia pretty heavily. He reminds me of like a fucking hitman. Like, what'd you say, motherfucker? I'll blow your fucking head off. You know, like he's a nut. He seems like total nut.
Bro, my text to him, I texted him April 24, 2021, Marty, and it's just capital. Let's go. Holy fuck. And then all of a sudden, 6:22 that same day, where you at? AKA the fuck you at? I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm laying down.
So much energy. He's a legend, that kid.
He is. But we're gonna have all these fucking guests. And yeah, Hunter, you're gonna You're gonna talk some shit, and if you suck, are you gonna come on the podcast?
Yeah, I'll come on the podcast. I got to.
I mean, I'm gonna talk shit to you if you suck. By the way, just letting you
Yeah,
know.
no, I'll still show my face.
But yeah, back to just to the route we want. The difference of bench mob. Bench mob is dead completely. I don't give a fuck about it. I respect it. It wasn't working, but I wanted to change it a little bit. We're not going to deep dive into everything. Rico is still open to come on. If Jake wanted to come on, he can come on, but he didn't want to do it with me. I'm not talking shit about him. Just what happened. Telling the truth. Rico is still allowed to come on, but it is completely dead. That is the truth about Barstool Bench Mob, but it's done. Again, focus on fans, focusing on the Big Ten, honestly, and Duke is going to be a big part of my my spiel. But basically, I just want to get an intro out to everyone. And do you guys have anything to say on like how you guys want the show to go or whatever?
It's good to have a voice. That's all. I'll obviously try to bring that all-encompassed look at basketball, but as we said, these guys all have different opinions, different views. We all have different kind of looks into basketball. So no, I think it's going to be great. We have some good guests lined up. I definitely didn't get. Some of these folks got. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things coming. And Marty, listen, say what you want about Marty Mush. I just want to say this one thing. Say what you want about Marty Mush, but I got to tell you, he has surprised me in all this. He has told me a lot of things that I didn't think he was capable. And I said, you know what? That's actually a fucking good idea. I'm excited about that.
I'm not a moron after all.
No,
right?
He's actually not as big a moron as a lot of people think.
Yeah, no, people have that perception. Listen, they're not.
Who would have thought desperate Marty Mush would be smart?
I am not the smartest, but I am smart. I got you fucks to come on this podcast.
Yeah, you're smarter than you look, definitely.
Yeah. And Jordan, first of all, we haven't even started. Jordan on his other podcast is making the refs come after him of the NCAA already.
I made my life goal every single time I'm on a podcast to bring up refs. So you already brought it up. So I'm ready to get down in that rabbit hole if you want me to.
We'll have fun with that because refs in college sport, or in general, blow. They suck.
Fuck the refs in college basketball.
Listen, let me ask you guys. Will this podcast get Hunter in trouble at some point? I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. One, we're not going to like real trouble, no. But he will definitely get like Jawad Howard's like, bro, what are you saying? To Marty Mush and Jeff Nadu and Bo, like what is going on?
That.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Yeah, no, you like to chop it up, but you're also what to say, not what to say, but you also know how to rile some people up.
Yeah, I definitely like to poke at the bear sometimes because I just know, fans from other schools, they just chop at the bit at anything somebody wants to say about the university. Like, you can say something about, I'll say about, Coach McCaffrey. Coach McCaffrey knows I love him, but, be like, Coach McCaffrey's, kind of old. And then Iowa fans are just be like, what'd you say about me? What'd you say about me? They're just – I mean, Iowa fans they're cooler than some of the Big Ten. I don't have any beef with the Iowa fans.
I will say let's be honest, though. What else do they got? They got corn.
Nothing.
You can't hate on the state of Iowa.
No, what do you do there?
That's off limits of anything in the podcast, and that's number one.
That is true, Jordan. What'd you guys do?
What do you do? There's no good food. There's no nothing.
I did go out. I did go out in Iowa.
Bro, this fuck texted me after they beat us at Iowa. He's like, "Yo, you going out?" I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm not fucking going out. We just got beat by you guys at our own place."
I don't think there's anywhere to go. Probably.
No, Iowa City's actually one of the best party schools in the country.
There's a couple places to go.
I went out with Jordan after they won, and it was Rico had a bucket on his head. And then
we went to the casino at 4 a.m.
Yeah, me and Jordan played blackjack till 4 a.m. I was doubling on 12s. I was doubling on 16s. I was going nuts, bro.
We're splitting 10s against a 10.
It was fucking
Sounds
nuts.
actually pretty cool. Who would have thought?
Yeah, no, I was
done
got more to offer than just tractors and corn mazes. It's not.
Let me
it's
ask you
not
guys.
that.
They don't really have a football team to offer, though. That's the
All
problem.
right, chill.
They have a defense team.
They
don't
you
have
got a defense. You got a
any
defense, Jordan.
offense.
You're
Let
like
me
the
ask you
Chicago
guys.
Bears.
Let me ask you guys. Tennessee did that midnight madness, which every team does. Did you see what they did? They did it in literally downtown Knoxville. It was dope. That was a good idea, Tennessee. Shout out Tennessee.
No, they stole that from Louisville.
Did they? Did someone do that before?
Louisville, they've been doing that. I remember when I was getting recruited, they used to do it like downtown and do it like outdoors and stuff like that.
Shout out Louisville.
Louisville.
Well, basically, maybe we'll have a segment of just like a Hunter soundbite. Who this year are you not worried about at all, or are you just like, I don't like this team?
Who am I not worried about? That's oof.
Nebraska.
I was just talking to Coach Hoiberg at media. I like Coach Hoiberg a lot.
He's the man. He's the man.
They stink,
bro. Yeah, Coach Hoiberg. That's a good dude right there. Like out of all the coaches in the Big Ten, like there's a lot of good ones and a lot of like cool ones when you actually talk to them. Coach Hoiberg's up there for like top dudes because I was talking to him for like 10 minutes at media day, just chopping it up.
Hunter, let's just be honest. You're not scared of Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
So basically, Wisconsin's like, you don't care about them. That's a dub.
Yeah, no, they're dead to me.
Who's the big guys in the Big Ten this year?
They got Stephen Crowell. He's actually pretty decent. He's a good.
Jordan says
Stephen
no.
Crowell.
No, he's versatile. Like he can step out. I remember he had 1 or 2 threes versus us, so he makes me work for sure down there. Other than that,
Edie,
obviously Trace Jackson Davis, Cliff from Rutgers.
Cliff's a beast.
Yeah,
Cliff is good. He's so underrated. I was telling somebody yesterday, he's so underrated.
He had I didn't even know he had the second most dunks in the entire NCAA last year.
Anything within 10 feet last year, he dunked the ball.
Boom. Yeah. He palms the ball. Like it's like the ball looks like this phone in his hand. Like it just looks so small. Other
Number
than
one
that,
is
though,
Mark Williams, by the way.
that's also a very underrated fan base, by the way. That's
Rutgers,
Rutgers.
So
Rutgers is crazy.
Rutgers is nuts, and I'm going to your game, Rutgers, Michigan, and I will be rooting for Rutgers unless you win.
That's fair. That's fine.
Maybe I'll wear a half like Michigan Dickinson and a half Rutgers and be one of those losers in the crowd.
Wait, you're going to the Rutgers game?
Yeah.
You have to sit next to TJ behind the basket and just be decked out in a night outfit.
Just go nuts, bro.
No,
bro, we have a video coming out. This was crazy. I don't even know if I told you guys this, but we're doing I want everyone also to, if you are listening to this as a player, whatever, we want to do a lot of NIL deals. So like Hunter, we're going to have shirts for him and they get most of the profit. And make these guys some money. So our round ball roster right now is just Dickinson and Paul Mulcahy from Rutgers. So I brought Little Mo Mozzarella, the guy from TikTok, and Meals by Cooge, who is hysterical people. They're hysterical. But we interviewed Paul Mulcahy, and the media guy's like, hey, you want to go talk to Pikel? I was like, oh, if he wants to be in it, that'd be fucking awesome. And I've met him before. He's great. Bro, we're in the room, like in the video, Little Mo Mozzarella smacked Pikel in the face. He like did like the Italian, like, how you doing? I'm like, bro, you cannot do that to a head coach.
That's something you can't do to everybody.
No, I was like, bro, this is like this guy's being nice. You can't smack him in the face.
There's a certain person you can do that with, but most people, especially nowadays with COVID, that ain't something.
Just like respect-wise, you can't do that to the head coach of Rutgers.
That's like little brother mentality too. I feel like that's like
that's like you do that to someone you don't respect.
Yeah,
like, you're like trying to son him.
Imagine I went up to Juwan Howard and like gave him a little tap in the face.
Well, he's done that before. Juwan's done that before.
He'd break your hand.
Hey.
Yeah, how was the meeting? I saw the picture Michigan tweeted out of Guard and him.
Yeah, it was a great photo shoot, Marty. It was a great photo shoot.
Yeah, I'm sure it was great. That is one person we will not. We're gonna interview Juwan at some point. I mean, if Hunter ever gets his fucking head coach to us,
He'll be on here.
I will be his person that if he wants to punch anyone, I'll be the guy. Just let him know that, all right? I'm a great fall guy, as everyone can see. But yeah, I think the direction of the show, I mean, this show is already like, I feel like we got great chemistry. I didn't know how the chemistry was going to be right away. I feel like we got it, no?
Yeah, I think like I said, I think it's a great mix of people, I just got to make sure I don't say nothing stupid, we'll be all right.
Yeah, no, we're definitely going to say some stupid shit. But yeah, I'm excited to get into a lot of things. But that's the direction of the show. That is the behind the scenes of Bench Mob, which is completely dead. They could go fuck themselves. The show, not the people. The show can go.
Wow, that's gonna maybe be a clip thing there, Marty.
No, I think it's just a show. The show was too much. It was toxic. Now it's
clip
clean
that.
slate.
Yeah, I like how he's like, we're not gonna harp on people, and
he harps on them for 20 minutes.
No, I'm good. I'm happy we have this show, and again, I think Hunter being a part of it is huge. So I appreciate you even doing that. I think it's this new media shit is cool that like you're even allowed to do this and like actually give an opinion and a person that's playing in the fucking league, where it's not like a bunch of me and the dudes being like, we never played, but we watch,
Yeah, I think it's really good for fans because they don't realize like there's more ins and outs. Like Jordan knows, like when you're listening to people talk on the podcast and stuff like that, and they just like you can tell they've never played high athletics before, and they're just talking, and you're just like, you have no idea what's really going on in the game and stuff like that. And I think having me and Jordan on there to be able to explain the more ins and outs of how college basketball works, I think will be really important, and I think will separate us from every other podcast that has two older guys that have never played basketball before.
Is that us?
Wait, was that a shot at?
No. It wasn't a shot at you. Like you mentioned other podcasts that the people might. I'm not sure. I'm not looking at other people's backgrounds, but I know like there's like a lot of local podcasts that like I know two guys are Michigan State people. They never played basketball before in their lives, and they're trying to talk about what I'm doing out there.
Wow, you don't know you never listened to that at all, right?
Yeah. Oh, I listen. Like I'm on social media. Like people send me stuff all the time about like that's probably where I get most of my stuff is people sending me, articles and videos and stuff like that about myself. And so, I see everything. I listen to it. I might not respond to it, but I listen to it.
All right. Hey, Michigan State. I'm on. Go fuck themselves.
Well, Hunter. There's one thing about Mush and I that you probably can't compare to. People hate us way more, I think, than you. So we can give you any advice you need on trolls. We have plenty of it.
Yeah, but he at least has a nice thing where it's like,
yeah,
Michigan loves him. So like, no matter what, he's got like a family.
And he's also like good at
a family.
I got my home base. Like when I'm in Ann Arbor, bro, can't nobody touch
all you gotta say is "Go Michigan," 1,000 retweets.
And he can also say like. He can also say, like, well, I'm 7 foot and I'm like one of the best players in the country. If somebody talks shit on me, like sometimes it's like, well, I'm pretty good at basketball handicapping, but that's about it. So
I can't wait till we take a group photo because I'm taller than both of you two.
You're not taller than me.
What?
How tall are you, Jordan?
I'm 6'1".
Yeah, that means you're 5'11".
I'm not 5'11".
I weighed 6'1", bro.
Let's just not take a photo because I don't want to be in next.
Bro, I'm 6'4". Who are you?
Yeah, right. I've been standing next to you. You're not 6'4".
Yes, I am, bro.
He's pretty tall. I was surprised how big he was.
Baseball roster, 6'4".
Okay, you're taller than me, but you're not 6'4".
Well, anyway, Hunter is fucking annoying as shit to stand next to because I just hung out with him in Michigan and my neck is just like this the whole time. I look like a pussy next to him.
Yeah, I'm not standing next to him because I'm not.
The dude's like 5'5".
No, I'm not 5'5", motherfucker. I'm 5'8". All right.
Yeah. Whenever someone has to tell you that they're 5'8", like and like this,
Listen, next time I'm at the bar,
Point the finger.
next week I'm gonna get measured. I'm gonna get measured next week. Not my dick. My
yeah. Have you guys heard about his dick? Bro, his dick. He just told everyone on Twitter that he's like, my dick's on OnlyFans. If you find it, go enjoy.
And then I had an OnlyFans woman
Wait,
rate it.
Go
She
enjoy?
said it was an A.
He said, go enjoy.
Maybe I'll show you guys.
I'm good. No. I'm no dicks on this show, but hey, if anyone out there, a listener, if you find his dick, let us know. That's all I'm saying.
I will say Joey Camasta was proud. He said it was,
Yes, that is a good person to say it. Also, I do want to change topics off Nadu's dick. This show is going everywhere. It's college basketball, dicks, fucking whatever you want.
We're covering all bases, Marty.
All bases. But hey, we got I want crazy fucking fans on here too. Like, I think if we ever got like a Michigan State fan on here to talk to Hunter, would be like Hunter just like dummying him would be fantastic. Or just like I want players on here too. Like let's all go through what guests do we want on here each? Like who's our white whale for all of us? Let's start with Hunter.
Oh, and go to me last. I got to think.
All right, you go first, then Jordan.
Yeah, I would always say. I mean, my white whale guest is, and it's probably attainable. Huggins. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a terrific coach. I actually feel like when I'm his age, I'll probably look similar to him. Like I like him. I love Huggins. Give me Huggins there.
Huggins. I went to West Virginia and I just hung out in his office for about 3 hours, and he was just telling old stories. And it was
I would love
probably the one moment where I was like, bro, you do not deserve to be here. This is the coolest thing ever. And like, I appreciate him so much. Like, he was just chilling, bro, and just talking story after story. So we'll get him on. He's
that's something I would pay to do. Like that's like an experience to me as a basketball person. So I would love that.
J-Bo?
I have two. The first one I fucking hate and I can't stand Seth Greensburg. And
Greenberg.
I can't stand that fucker.
And you would have him on, and you guys would you job him? Does he know
I would have a respectful dialogue with him.
Yeah, but does he know this or no?
Yeah, he knows this. We had a Twitter beef. What was it? 2 years ago? Remember when I was on your show?
Fuck, right?
What?
He's the bald fuck, right?
Yeah, remember when I was on your show during the COVID NCAA tournament and I was talking shit about the NCAA gift bag?
Yes.
He was like, oh, this fucker. He didn't say fucker, but this guy's ungrateful. Yeah.
Them gift bags was weak, bro.
Bro, he's weak. Seth Greensburg's weak.
Who's your favorite, though? Who's the other guy?
I got going. What was that? Oh, Dickie V. It has to be Dickie V.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I want Dickie V on here. I just want him to like do a call for me. Like I
just want to lay down in my bed with my eyes closed and listen to his voice. That's all.
And shout out, and he's fucking he beat cancer, correct?
Yeah.
Which is fucking amazing.
Throat cancer.
Shout out Dickie V. He's the man.
Crazy.
All right, Hunter, did you think of one?
I would love like. This is tough. But first, going back to what Jordan said about the NCAA gift bags, I don't want like a koozie, like an NCAA koozie and like an NCAA like arm sleeve and just a shirt. Like, what am I gonna do with that as a gift? They do give out terrible gifts. I will say the Big Ten Media Day, Big Ten stepped it up this year with the gifts. We got a Hypervolt. They stepped it up.
The massage
Hypervolt's
gun?
like the massage gun.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing that looks like it's like jerking you off.
Last year wasn't bad either.
Back to TikTok.
We had what we have last year, like a duffel bag.
We had like the with our name inscribed on it.
Oh yeah, no, that was pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie.
You also know, Hunter, that I'm gonna make you at some point. I think that we should do like at some point. Well, one, you're gonna have to say my name on TV. That's just a fact.
Yeah, that's
Marty
easy.
I want to do like a Marty Mush taught me this move, and it was like it's just a casual
live TV ESPN interview.
Like big game ESPN. Like Like how'd you feel out there? It's like Marty Mush gave me a really big pump up speech and like just like fuck with people. But also respectful. So like you're not messing up your career, obviously. But I think we can make some waves with that. I'm also just I think he's got to do it.
Yeah, no, Marty, we have Michigan Media Day today, so I'll try to somehow get you intertwined in one of my answers.
All right.
Yeah, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for that. I'll try to intertwine your name somehow in there.
That would be unbelievable. But yeah, who's your guest? My guest is fucking. I think it's a Shire. I want Shire. He's a fucking absolute the man. He's the
man.
Would
that be brutal? That would be brutal. Shire and Marty Mush on the show.
I would basically. You guys wouldn't talk.
I wouldn't. I would just not come that day.
Yeah, he would come literally because I just jerk him off.
Like a 2-hour interview.
Honestly, if I could get one name, I think it's gonna be. I'd like to get Tom Izzo on here.
See that
would be dope.
But I'd like. I don't know. Because, I don't know how willing he'd be to do that. But like I'm actually cool with Tom Izzo. We were just talking at Media Day, 2 days ago for like 20 minutes. So I'm actually cool with him, and he was giving us some good stories and stuff like that. So
this is where you got to work in being like, hey, would you come on the pod? Because I think it'd be interesting. You're not going to be a dickhead. You're not going to be like, hey, go fuck yourself. Like you're going to have. It's kind of cool to hear. Like I would also love like if you guys are playing Purdue and we have like Edie or we have one of these big guys that you're going to be playing against, like talking. That would be the most interesting shit before a game ever.
Well, they all have a clear respect for each other. They all respect each other, I think.
Yeah, for the most part. But
for the most part, it's very key. Yeah.
But I feel like we can change it, like media, a little bit of like having those insight, like talking to the guy before you play him. It's got to be one of the weirdest experiences ever. But it would be kind of funny.
Would be pretty awkward. But Zach Edey is a funny, like he is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, like. In the game, like he was talking to, I remember it was my freshman year, and he was like, it was at the end of the half, and Brandon Johns is at VCU now. He was telling me how like he told him like, yo, like, watch this, like I bet you're not gonna get a shot up, and like, I guess they were like following us to not be able to shoot, and like B. Johns just thought like that was like the funniest thing ever because it's just like it was so random for him to say that, but I did hear that Zach Edey is a funny kid. And so I think
for him to come on here, then
I think that would be good. It would definitely be awkward, though. I would say that's really awkward for me to talk about somebody.
And we will make it 10 times awkward too. Like I will make sure it's like it's some funny shit. But yeah, all right. I want to end the podcast on. This is just introduction. This is just getting to know everybody, get everyone's voices going. I want to talk about a couple college basketball things fast. I want to talk about how motherfucking stupid Memphis is to hire Penny Hardaway for an extension because all I heard was people jerking him off and Memphis, how good they were going to be. And they can't even play Amoni Bates. He's gone. They had one of the easiest roads to even make the fucking NCAA tournament, and they couldn't even do that. How do you even let a guy get extended with that?
Look, I've said before, and this is no joke. I when I'm looking at every coach in America, 361 or so, I would rank him very low. He's a horrific coach. He's awful. There's no sort of offensive anything. I mean, he doesn't know how to run offense. He doesn't know how to run anything. The mix of people on the team. Look, he's a recruiter. That's all he is. That's all he'll ever be. Memphis has completely sold their soul and said, you know what? As long as we get high-level kids here, we don't care about winning. The guy's been to one tournament, as you alluded to. It was a very solid road to maybe get to the second weekend. He couldn't do that. They've sold their soul. It's all about recruits. They don't care about winning basketball games. And in that conference, they should be right up there with Houston. Pathetic, awful, but they've made their bed and they're going to have to sleep in it now.
I think he's got such strong ties to the Memphis administration now that he's given all this money to the university.
That's all it's about.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what runs college basketball is the boosters. And Penny, he's a booster now for Memphis. They're not going to hire one of their own, or not. They're not going to fire one of their own people.
Yeah,
I will say this about him, though.
He's paying the coach there.
Yeah, and they give him full reign, and he can win because of it, because of the players that he gets. I will say, though, about Penny Hardaway, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a game where he was coaching. When he walks out with the foam pauses on, I got to admit, it's pretty dope. I mean, Penny Hardaway was a great NBA player. He's a legend, but he's just not a good coach. But I get what it's about at Memphis. It's about getting number one type of recruits and losing in the first round of the tournament every year.
All right, and to end the podcast, I want to do. Would you guys want to do Final Four predictions early on, not knowing basically anything, or would you want to just do like top three Big Ten teams because that's what we know right
Why
now?
don't you guys do that? I'll do a Final Four. I have a Final Four.
I don't want to do my Final Four yet.
Not Final Four. Yeah, I
yet.
gotta do a little bit more research.
I gotta give it a week or so.
Okay, so let's do top three teams in the Big Ten.
Go ahead, I'll go first. Number one, Jordan.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna be biased here. I'm gonna be a little bit biased, but not that biased. I'm going Indiana 1, Illinois 2, Michigan 3.
I was about to say you're gonna be disrespectful. You don't put it.
I'll put you in top 3. I was debating between you and Illinois as 2.
All right. Well, obviously, Michigan is going to be number 1 in the Big Ten this year. I'd say, I mean, it's going to be the same for me, the same 3. I'm just trying to figure out the order. I think it's hard because Indiana's got a ton of talent, obviously, coming back. There's a reason why they're touted as one of the best teams in the country. I think the one problem they have, though, is they don't have a lot of shooting. They have Miller Kopp. They have a good freshman coming in. I'm not I don't really know too much about, the freshman class other than my own. So that's kind of hard. But Indiana, if they can get some shooting other than Miller Kopp, obviously Race Thompson can shoot a little bit, but I think if they can
Dog's got something to say about it.
Bro, over here. I thought Hunter just fucking stepped on a dog. Is that a pig or a dog?
How small is that dog?
There's 2 dogs in here.
Is that a pig?
No, I don't know why they're barking. But
hit your mute button when you're not talking.
If Indiana can get some shooting, they'll definitely be super, super tough. One of the best teams in the country. And then Illinois, they got a lot of talent too, but they got a lot of transfers coming in. So you got to see how they'll gel and mesh together, especially when it comes time for Big Ten play.
Do you think you're going to dummy Trace, or you think it's going to be think it's going to be an easy one for you? You think this year? No.
It's always a good matchup with Trace.
Push him right.
That is usually the game plan. But
right.
Well, teams never do it. Like I feel
that is true, bro. Every time I watch the film on his games, the teams are just letting him go left. I'm like, bro, I wish you guys would let me do it like that.
Like literally, like sit on his fucking right shoulder. He's going left. He's literally going to his left. Like it's pretty obvious.
We're already breaking down film on this fucking show. Get him. You want him to go right?
I mean that is the game plan that I think every Big Ten school is got in their scouting report.
He is very talented, though. I'll give him that.
He
is
super athletic. Oh my god, so athletic. I
went to Indiana. Indiana was fucking awesome. Like that crowd. I went against it was Indiana St. John's, and it was. I mean, I was front row. Like it was the best experience I think I've had in college basketball. And first of all, they have to be so confused in practice, like Trace and Race. Like that is just outrageous that anyone has the same name like that. And Miller Kopp is the boy. He's awesome.
He's I don't know too much about Miller Kopp. You know him, Jay?
I do a little bit because he was at Northwestern beforehand. So I played against him for a few years now. But no, he's a good dude. Indiana's weird though. Like when we played them in the Big Ten tournament, like I could tell like they were gonna be special next year if they were gonna bring everyone back. But like look at their starting lineup. They have like 4 redshirt seniors, I think.
Yeah,
coming back on their team, and then they have Race Thompson's the 6th year, and then Trace is going to be a junior or senior. They have their
Yeah.
whole team is upperclassmen, and that doesn't
Okay.
happen at all ever in the Big Ten for a start.
And to be honest, Mike
That's
Woodson, I like Mike Woodson there. I really do, actually. His hands are ginormous. I shook him, and my hand disappeared. All right, my top three. Illinois is not going to make it.
Wow.
I think that they're always just over fucking hyped all the time. I fucking can't stand their
They won the Big Ten last year.
They
I
did
know.
win the Big Ten.
And they're always overhyped because they won the Big Ten, and then what they do?
They lost to.
They just lose. They lose. They don't go far in the tournament ever, and they fucking cockbag's gone. Like, why would we die? That's his name, isn't it? Cockbag. But yeah, I'm gonna go Indiana 1, Michigan 2, and then I'm gonna have. I think Michigan State's gonna get back to the top, and have them 3.
It's just gonna be hard for Michigan State. They're losing. They're probably their 2 best. I don't want to say 2 best score. I mean, I feel like they were 2 leading scorers, right? Max Christie and
Yeah.
Brown. So you got to
I
replace that. But they do, in my opinion, I'm not gonna. Obviously, I'm gonna be biased. I don't care what Jordan says. I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna say we got the best backcourt. But Michigan State's got a pretty good backcourt with Tyson and AJ. That backcourt's pretty good.
Yeah, I think Izzo's going to have it. People get them going. But Nadu, what do you got?
Yeah, I think as far as obviously staying healthy, Illinois has not been able to do that, obviously with Curbelo and Coburn. But this team, if they stay healthy, I mean, Sky Clark is terrific. I mean, 5-star player. I mean, he was at Montverde, one of the best teams in the country. That's 5-star high-level shit right there. Put him with Terrence Shannon, Mayer, what they have there already. That team is really good. If they all stay healthy, which is obviously very important, they're the best team in the Big Ten. Now, second, I'm going to be very honest here, outside of Hunter Dickinson, I'm just being really honest. There's a lot of unproven players at Michigan. However, Llewellyn is really good. He was great at Princeton. I like Kobe Buffkin a lot. I like Joey Baker, obviously at Duke. I think he provides you the shooting edge that I don't think Indiana has. So again, I think if you get the high level type of team that I expect them, they are the second best team to me in this conference. I'll throw Indiana right after them. And then it's really a battle between Michigan State, Purdue, Iowa, all those groups. But to me, it's Illinois. Illinois is the best team, and I don't think it's really that close. I have them as a top 15 team. So,
who's your dark horse, Nadu?
Well, I think you're 100% right about Michigan State. I think Tyson Walker's a terrific player. I remember when he was in the Colonial, he was awesome at Northeastern. And look, Izzo is just that good a coach in March. He's the king of March. He's got some really nice pieces.
I'm actually sick of that. It's not.
Yes, he is.
Long term.
When has he's done nothing?
There was a 20+ year span where every single senior, every 4 years he went to the Final Four.
Bro, yeah, I'm talking about now. He ain't the king of shit.
But I think respect-wise, like with a really good top 30 team, I think that's something that gives him an edge. But look, we could say the same thing. Over the last 5-10 years, Michigan has been a very good team in March, whether it's John Beilein or Jawan. So, I agree with what you're saying. I don't know if it's completely relevant today, but it is something that I think of every time when they get to March. I want Izzo over most coaches. It's just that simple.
Yeah, I think he's getting a little old.
But
no, I agree with that. Izzo over the majority of coaches.
Do you guys agree though? Like a lot of coaches, we're getting to the end of like these historic coaches. Like Coach K's gone. Like Boehannon's retired like 5 years ago, and still he did kill a guy, and people stood up.
No one talks about it still.
People gave him a standing ovation when he came back.
Oh,
That's also something. Not to bring out the bench mob. Every time I would say that people forget Boehannon killed the guy, Jake made me cut it out.
Well, he did.
Yeah, people forget. It's just facts, and
it's fine.
It's an accident. He did it. It was an accident. But like Boeheim, Izzo, Coach K is gone. Like all these guys. Like, do you think Hunter and Jordan, you would know more? Like, obviously you respect them, but like, do you think it's a younger coach when like Shire's coming in? Like these players, these 18-year-olds relate more to them. instead of having these old bags?
I don't necessarily agree because
I want you're
I
honest.
mean I've experienced the first thing because Coach McCaffrey's on the older side, and I think he's one of the best player coaches in the country. I'm not saying he's one of the best coaches in the country, but he's one of the best player coaches in the country. How he's able to relate with his players, and he backs his players, and players feed off that energy. I mean, Hunter knows that. But I mean, I think the more younger talents coming into the Big Ten, you see Hoiberg coming in. Minnesota just hired a new coach not too long ago as well. So,
but even Juwan, Juwan's
Juwan too. I mean, Juwan's on the older, getting older.
He's getting ready. I'll be thinking he's young, but he's
young. Jordan, I want to ask you a question real quick. If I think the stubbornness of older coaches is what is annoying because, for instance, Iowa, all due respect, I mean, they're the same team every year. Why does Fran McCaffrey not understand that to win, you have to be able to defend? And it's the same nonsense every year. Well, Iowa, they don't defend. They don't defend. They don't.
A lot of fights.
I think the defensive struggle.
Why not get a defensive player too?
I think what you're alluding to, the fact that is our defensive struggles is over. People generally take it to a different level than what it should.
But they are not a top 100 defense ever.
We were top 100 last year.
It's rare.
And the year before that.
It is.
We had 2 consecutive years in the top 100 defenses, according to Ken Palm.
99th?
No, we were 84 last year, then 82 the year before.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, as a top 5 team generally in the Big Ten, you have to be better than that. You have to be top 50.
The thing is, true. Normally, the lead 8 and the Sweet 16 are all in the top 50 for defenses. I 100% agree. But also, you got to look at how our offensive scheme is. We have twice as much possessions as anyone else in the country.
Sure.
Our job is to shoot within the first 2 seconds of the shot clock, or we shoot in the last 2 seconds of the shot clock. That's his philosophy.
But if something has for 10 years been the same outcome. I
mean, it's not the same outcome. We just won a Big Ten title last year. So
yeah, but again, I guess maybe I look at it differently. If my team does not win or get to the Final Four, it is a failure, probably to me. But
you also got to realize
there's only 4 teams that make the Final Four.
There's 4 teams. Yeah, there's one team that ever ends up with a win every single year. One team.
But you know damn well that the goal is to win the national title. It's not to win the Big Ten title. Who cares?
No, that's actually stupid, Nadu, because I'm saying that.
So you'd be happy if Duke wins the ACC? That's it.
Well, Duke and Iowa are completely different.
But Iowa is a Power 5 team. They're in one of the best conferences in America.
You're downplaying the Big Ten title way too much.
Well, Jordan, am I lying? Is the goal not to win the national title every year?
That's everyone's
but
goal,
there's also
bro.
one
Obviously,
team. I'm taking a
goal.
Freaking North Dakota State's goal is to win.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't control the matchups in the NCAA tournament.
But if something is not working, where it is a constant problem that you can't defend, why don't Nate Oates? I've said before, Nate Oates has a team that shoots a ton of threes. Yeah, he doesn't have any shooters. Maybe you should change it up and do something else.
Yeah, but when's the last? We just talked about you just fucking blew Tom Izzo, right?
Yeah,
you blew him. And when's the last time he's won a championship?
Because he's a legend.
When's the last time he won a championship?
Legend.
I don't know. Probably, I think it was late 2000s. Probably.
Cassius Winston won the Big. They won the Big Ten.
Yeah, it was early 2010.
Exactly. That's been 12 years. And what is he supposed to change it up?
Has Fran McCaffrey ever?
No, don't switch back.
You know how many teams? You know how many college coaches in the entire country win a national title?
One.
I know. Okay,
yes, that's everyone's goal, but also I'm damn proud we won a fucking Big Ten title. I would take a Big Ten title over making the Sweet 16, honestly.
Okay, well, I'll just say,
if you had to choose one, I'm taking.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now, if I don't know how the season is going to end, if you tell me you're making the Sweet 16 and then you get to keep playing and you don't know, and you get to play that next game or the Big Ten, I might take the Sweet 16. But if I know I'm going to lose in the Sweet 16, Big Ten for sure.
Yeah.
I just think that college basketball is such a different. In professional sports, it's like championship or bust. No one cares if you make the fucking wild card of anything. But the tournament is one of the hardest things. It's probably the hardest thing to win in any sport. Like they have the hardest playoffs of any sport, I think. And I think that these championship or bust is just kind of insane when it's 300 and how many fucking teams?
But if you are a top 40 team, what I'm trying to say is you have you will be in the NCAA tournament. That's a shoo-in. You've got to be horrific to not make it. Okay, Iowa will make it every year.
That's not
the
true.
actual fact that the guy has been at Iowa for what, 20 years? He's never gotten past the 32 ever.
Look,
Give
It's
me a
been
break.
10 years. It's been
My
10 years
point-
he's been in Iowa. The
He's
thing
not
is,
a good coach.
My point
Sorry.
is to do
that
that.
you have to be really fucking good to make the NCAA tournament. You're blowing the NCAA tournament out of proportion.
Not when you're Iowa. They're a Big Ten team.
But
They're
they
there
play harder
every year.
competition.
Do you
So,
realize how
you
many
gotta-
how many automatic bids there are, and then on top of the top whatever the top resumes
But
get in?
against the shit teams you're playing in the first 2-3 weeks of the season or month, as coupled with the fact you play Nebraska and Rutgers and all these
Rutgers,
teams.
all right,
Rutgers
Rutgers is
Rutgers
good.
is
You
good.
know
how hard it is to
Rutgers
win
is
at
a
away
bubble
games?
team every season. You
They
know it,
beat
and I know
Purdue
it.
at home, bro. No, Rutgers at home. Look at their home ranking versus.
And look at them on the
their
road. They won 2 games 2 years
That's
ago.
the
on
road in the Big Ten. Everyone loses on the road in the Big Ten.
Yeah, but
It's
Rutgers,
hard.
you can't put Rutgers and Nebraska in the same
The
fucking category.
continued mediocrity of Iowa as a coach is
But
not
how is it
acceptable.
Look, Jeff,
mediocre?
but I'm saying this is my point. Yes, they're probably lower in defense, but to Jordan's point, I'm gonna defend Fran here. They shoot the ball so fast. Their point is to have a lot of possessions. So obviously, their point is to score a lot. So they're not going to blow every team out by 30. So the other team's going to score a lot too. Like Virginia is very high defensively every year because they don't score the ball. Like they're playing like 40 to 40 games every year. So obviously their defense is going to be better, but then their offense isn't as high either. So the point of their offense is to score a lot, knowing they're going to give up some points.
I'll just say this. Last thing I'll say on it. Okay. In 2021, they had
Thank God.
Jordan. They had Jordan. They had the best player in America, probably in the last 5 years, in Luka Garza. They didn't get past Durant at 32.
All right. I'm gonna make an excuse here that is, you guys. I don't.
What was the
think
excuse against Richmond last year? There's always an excuse for Fran
Richmond was
McCaffrey.
one of the best mid majors in the entire country, and they played their best basketball against us.
You were 10-point favorites and lost.
Bro,
There's
but
no
dude,
excuse
This
for that.
doesn't know shit on favorite.
The-
You want to
the
talk about
great
gambling?
thing about
I'll
the
give you the
tournament-
fucking lines before the games. I'll give you the real lines right here. I know the
Listen, I
fucking
love
games.
Chris Mooney.
Vegas
and
doesn't know
Richmond,
the
I do,
lines.
but you shouldn't have lost the game. Come on. Oh, I'm not trying to knock you. I'm saying I
No,
don't
you
think
are.
he's a good coach.
No, you 100%.
You are.
Indirectly, you're knocking Jordan because
No, I'm
Jordan.
You are
not.
knocking
Drew
Jordan.
He's a
Proctor,
great
you're
player.
fucking with me.
The fact that he's on the team with Luka and that coach can't win. Get past
We
the 32.
played in the once in a lifetime global pandemic against a team. The only team in the NCAA tournament. They won the fucking Pac-12, and 2, the first game we were the only team that played a team that got a bye in the first round.
Yes, 100%.
The only team.
I
We're the
hear you.
only team that happened to us.
And it's not really
Oh,
just you.
wait,
It's
because
just
weren't they supposed to play VCU?
Yeah, they're supposed to play VCU.
Oh, yeah, no, that sucks. Playing a team right after they just played, huge advantage.
Yeah, huge advantage. I think you're putting down way you like are putting this Iowa teams down. There's been so many amazing teams that haven't made it to like the Elite Eight and shit.
listen.
like Duke
He has
teams,
wasted
fucking
more
teams.
talent.
It's also, but you're also it's Iowa. Like, not like is Iowa like a top school that these recruits are always looking
I'm
at?
not
No.
saying that. I'm saying
No,
they're
you
in a
are.
conference.
You're saying it's
You're
like
acting
They're
like
in
we're
a
due for
conference
North
every year
Carolina.
where they're a top 4 or 5 team. That's
but
not.
that could show
not
you
true.
a coach how good of a coach Iowa's never expected to be the best team. in
The
Big
best
Ten.
recruit he's gotten is his sons.
Yeah. Like Murray was amazing last year. Yeah, but did anyone expect that right away?
They went to prep
What I'm
school. He was
trying
the
to,
only
like-
coach in the country that found those guys before anyone
You
else.
have
thought they
to,
were
it's
good.
hard to find guys to go
I
to
get
Iowa.
you. I get
Luka
you.
was like a 90. Like Luka was like 99 in the
Okay,
country.
but
Luka
he's
didn't
hurt.
get recruited by Maryland either.
Hunter. The last 2 seasons they've had Luka Garza and Keegan Murray, 2 of the best players in the
He
last 10
found
years.
them.
He found
Right,
those
but
guys.
he didn't win shit.
But
Okay,
he was
Kentucky
not-
just
title last
Kentucky
year.
lost
He
to
doesn't
freaking
have
who
top-
last
he
year?
won
So
a
we're getting to
championship.
that point again where it's all about as long as you bring good players here and they end up being good. Listen, it's mediocre. It's a loser mentality, and he's a loser coach. It's that
No.
simple. And I'll
For the
tell him that if
tournament-
he comes on here.
No, for
He's
the
not a good
tournament.
coach.
The tournament is more luck than skill, in my opinion, for the
True.
tournament.
But you could get to the. You have to win 2 games, bro. If you're a 4 seed, you're gonna be a 13 and some. It's not that hard.
The
He's
seeding
never
does not
done
matter.
it,
Unless you're 16 against a 1, it does not matter what
Bro,
seed you
all
are.
they have to do is play their best game for 40 minutes, and they can beat you. All they have to do is play their best game of the season, and
But
you have
in
to play
10
a B
years,
game.
he's never been able to figure it out just once. That's all I'm saying. 13 against a 4. You're a 12-point favorite in that game. Minimum.
The line doesn't matter. We already established.
The line doesn't matter. Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Spreads don't matter. No, spreads don't matter.
You
No,
do
it
realize
doesn't.
how very little they win, right? 4 seeds. Or 13 seeds. It very rarely.
You realize
I
Richmond
don't think it's that rare.
Richmond leads the
13
country.
4s are one of the best. Like 12 is probably the most successful.
11, 9.
11.
Richmond is the #1 team in the country and wins as a 12 seed.
I know Richmond is good. I am very aware, but I'm trying to give you credit that it is
Where
embarrassing.
has the credit been? Wait,
to
where
lose
has
to
been
them.
I
no
haven't got
credit?
any credit yet.
What?
No
That's not credit.
I'm trying to help. I'm trying to tell you. I think your
He's trying to help
teams
me.
are really good, and I think if you have a different coach, I think if you have another person there, I think you'll surely win.
When
Last
Fran
thing, 'cause
when
we're
Fran
going
inherited no, hold on. I gotta say this. When
No.
Fran inherited the program, you realize how fucking bad Iowa was.
Right.
They had
I get
Licklider. Do you remember Licklider, Coach Licklider?
Yes. Listen, I understand renaissancing.
They had fans knitting in the stands. They were knitting sweaters in the stands when he was coaching. That's how
they
bad
still
Iowa
might be
was.
knitting
So-
now. You guys are kind of different over there.
Okay, so you're
You guys are
saying that.
different over there.
So you're basically just saying that it's totally acceptable to just make the tournament every year. That's cool. If that's what you're saying, that's fine.
That's not
I
what
get
I'm
it.
saying at all.
No, but it kind of, but bro, it kind of is. If you make the tournament every single year, that is an accomplishment.
No, it isn't.
unless you're Kentucky, Duke, and North Carolina, making the tournament every year
Bro,
is great.
Yes, when's the last time someone's been doing a hat reveal of where they're going? It's been fucking Iowa up there, ever.
But again, what I'm saying, they're
You can't
always
just say what I'm saying when I'm answering you a question. You're going somewhere else. I'm asking you. No, they don't get top recruits. He's making mediocre recruits, and that's where I'm going to discredit Jordan. Jordan's not a high recruit guy, but he made Jordan Bohannon a big name in the league where most places he might not be. He wouldn't be. Am I wrong there?
No, I
He
wouldn't.
got Keegan Murray to be a top 5 pick.
That's
Top 5.
insane.
He's making yeah. We're not even talking about how much money he's making because of Coach McCaffrey.
I think we
That's what
won.
I'm saying.
I think we won.
I mean,
All right.
all I'm trying to say is you didn't win. That being said, I just feel like there should be more success at Iowa, and there's no one on earth that wouldn't disagree that he's, he's not a good defensive coach. I don't agree. I don't
All
think
right,
he's.
we're gonna end it there because that was actually fantastic in my opinion. I even kind of sounded good for once, and we all